Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Sunday, the 30th of March. Starting off with the S&P, which doesn't have a good look at the moment. We failed at old January support towards 57.80, and basically we had a gap close, or we're trying to close that gap on Thursday. Didn't quite do that, so did that on Friday, and looks as though we're heading down to that December support line projection of 54.34. All that would really change that now is we can get back above the gap there on the way up around 56.70. But with the RSI failure at 50, it looks as though this could be a move down towards that 54.30 area, even if we then recover after that. Moving on to the Nasdaq, which is actually that much worse than the S&P at the moment. Here we didn't manage to get up to the initial January support there around 20,500. We fell below it, and gap close signal on Friday leading down towards the December support line projection 18,800 once again, even if we recover after that. RSI failure at the neutral 50 level was and is the leading indicator on the downside at the moment. Moving on to the stocks, where worryingly there aren't that many to choose from either, so that's a bit of a negative there. Alumis is the first one. We managed to close above the 50-day moving average there at $5.44. Above that, we're looking at the top of that broadening triangle base as high as $18.20, hopefully by the end of next month. Technically, this is a bear trap island reversal because we gapped down and then we gapped up, even though we filled that gap after we had the initial gap up day. And I suppose ideally we stay above the previous resistance on the way down towards $4.70, whatever happens. RSI's bounced off neutral 50, so that is a positive, and that's why we're gunning for $8.20. Moving along to a stock which is new to us here, we've got the situation at Argan, where it is of interest given the way that we had a gap close sell signal, and a bit like the S&P and Nasdaq, we're expecting this stock to head down to a support line projection, in this case around $97, but managed to flip higher and hit a line of resistance there towards $150. Obviously, we'll need to see an end-of-day close above that line in order to get us back up to the best levels towards $190, and ideally we stay above the previous resistance there at 130. So above 130, looking for 150, and then 190 is a best case scenario target. Next up is a stock which hopefully will make a rather better effort in terms of the upside than some other stocks we're looking at the moment. Here we've got BK Technologies, and rising trend channel there from back in September, top of the channel there at $41.50. We're looking for that hopefully over the next couple of weeks, while we remain above the now rising 50-day moving average at $31.35. Ideally, we stay above $35 if we can on an end-of-day close basis for this situation. RSI rebounds at neutral 50 or very close to that, so that does give it an appearance of strength for this market. One of the regulars coming up now, Cervomed, and here you can see that we had the first wave of the shares pushing through towards the main one-year resistance towards the $16 to $18 level. We've come back now and really trying to find support at the old November support area around $7.60. If we can stay above recent swing lows, then hopefully we'll get a partial or even full retest of the best levels towards $16, the best levels of the near term. We do have an initial resistance line there at $12.40, and hopefully that is a target for early next month. Moving along to Guild Holdings, and here a nice breakout through recent resistance around $14.70. Above that, we're looking for the top of the rising trend channel from back in August, as high as $18.70 by the end of next month, or hopefully a bit sooner. Nice action there in the RSI window with the double bounce off RSI 15 and one previous to that in mid-month as well. So that should back the shares for a decent move to the upside while $15 holds. Moving along to a stock which hopefully will also be a winner over the near term. We've broken above the 50-day line here for Janover, and above that at $4.80, looking for the top of the channel there, the rising trend channel base from October as high as $7.90, and looking for that by the end of next month. Another stock which has bounced off RSI 50 a couple of times in the recent past which gives us faith in the upside scenario. Moving along to Intellicheck, and here another situation with the double RSI rebounds above neutral 50, back above a rising 50-day line there at $2.60, so therefore we're looking for $3.40 plus at the top of that rising trend channel base from October by the end of next month, and what I call a V-shaped bull flag there, giving the stock a healthy look at the moment. One of my personal favorites is MicroAlgo, and here, not quite sure particularly why it's the personal favorite, but if you look closely, maybe you can see why that might be the case. Here we've had a sharp recovery, and the share's looking to build on that sharp recovery. The main resistance, recent resistance, was $11.60, and the initial target here, $14.50. Above $14.50, looking for the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base from September, as high as $26 by the end of next month. Although it has to be admitted, you can see those candle wicks rather long there at near the $20 area, so there is obviously some selling going on around that area, but if we can hold above $14.50, we could still have further upside. On to the last two. The first one is NextNRG, and here a broadening triangle base, breaking through recent resistance at $13.25 and above that. Looking at the top of that triangle there, $4.40 by the end of next month. So a simple U-shaped turnaround. Finishing off with Soleno, and here we've gapped up and held the gap and held the target there as well, around $69. The view at the moment is that the longer we can stay above the floor, or rather the top of that channel, the greater the chance of an extra move to the upside, extra leg to the upside, the upper parallel of that rising trend channel from November 23, heading towards $90 plus. And we're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above the top of the gap there at $65. Ideally, we stay above that old target there at $69. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.